I want to tell you a story. A wealthy and successful man asked me once, "What's it like to create something like Rise?" He said he'd always worked for others and was curious how that felt. I told him that when I first started Rise, I had over 25 years in the business, always working in high-end food establishments, both for myself and others. I did my Rise research for food, design, marketing, look and feel, and what my competitors were doing. The night before we opened, I thought we would do well, but I didn't really know. On opening day, we had long lines and people were raving. I knew Rise was going to be a success. When I drove home after work that first day, I stopped in my driveway and I started to cry. My tears were pure pride. I never had that feeling before. I gave it everything I had and it worked. 2 years into franchising Rise, I knew it wasn't working. I had made more money than I ever had, but Rise is broken. It was too complex to scale, the product was inconsistent, and investors were losing money. I didn't have a clue how to fix it. That's when I had a nervous breakdown and ended up in rehab. While in rehab, I had a chance to take care of myself after years of chasing a dream. I was shown so much love by investors, partners, managers, and employees that it overwhelmed me emotionally. I was given more love than I had ever given. I promised myself then that if I could fix Rise, I would build the foundation on a culture of love. After 3 years of breaking Rise down and rebuilding it, we now have a stronger company than ever, and one that I'm proud to say I started. We build it on the core values of responsibility, connection, trust, pride, respect, and love. We are a diverse group of people striving to fulfill a mission, and that mission is happiness. To those who are already working at Rise or own a Rise, thank you from the bottom of my heart. For those of you who are just joining us, welcome to Rise. When I was in my prime as a line cook and traveling the country learning my trade, I had a restaurant manager sit me down. She said if I wanted to make it as a chef in this industry, I would need to conform. I had bleached blonde hair and was a punk rock loving kid. I've always been somewhat of an outsider with no interest in conforming to anyone's cookie cutter ways. I had a successful military career as an airborne ranger, but now it was me and I wanted to be given the respect to express that as I wanted. Needless to say, I didn't conform. Not only didn't I conform, but I've gone out of my way to build a company culture that promotes and celebrates individuality. At Rise, you do and will always have the respect to be you. Connecting with others is an important part of being human. We're building a culture at Rise where everyone is welcome. It doesn't matter if you're white, Hispanic, Black, or LGBTQ. It also doesn't matter what your political or religious views are. We're creating an inclusive culture where we can all connect and respect each other for who we are. Try to understand the people around you and not to judge. We're all in this together. Our diversity is what makes us strong. At Rise, you'll be working closely with others for 8 hours a day. To make Rise work, everyone has to be accountable to everyone else on the team. Take your responsibilities seriously. Help the people around you succeed. We understand that everyone has bad days here and there. Try your best to help others during downtimes and embrace the good times. We truly believe that the secret to great company culture is when everyone is accountable to their responsibilities and they treat everyone with love and respect. We get it. The world is a crazy and complicated place. It can be hard to show love towards others. I can only say that every time I started out with love, it came back even stronger. Love everyone and everything around you and see where it takes you. It's not just a word, it's a way of life. At Rise, we're building for the future. We're committed to integrating technology with our culture while serving the best food we can. It won't always be smooth, and sometimes it might not always make sense. Just know that our goal and our mission is happiness, not just for us, but for everyone that comes into contact with Rise, above and beyond, as we like to say. Again, welcome to Rise, believe. I don't feel my story would be complete or the story of Rise for that matter, unless I shared with you some things that I've learned along the way. When I was in rehab and I was at my lowest, somebody gave me a crystal. And I don't really know what they mean, but I do know that it gave me comfort and it grounded me in a way that I can't explain. The next thing I encountered was after another nervous breakdown, I went to a doctor and asked him for a pill to make me feel better. And he said, get a hobby. And then the only thing I could think of at the time was bird watching. So I committed to watching birds at that moment. And for the last few years, I've been traveling the country, watching birds and photographing them. And it's brought me so much joy. I didn't know the importance of having a hobby at that time, but I do now. And I encourage everyone to find a hobby. The third one, so I have a wife of over 30 years, Gray. She's the love of my life. I've been in love with her since the day I met her. And we had some problems during my journeys. We went to a therapist, and that wasn't really working, and I started looking into mushrooms. I took a hero's dose of mushrooms. In that experience, everything became liquid, and I was liquid love. And then everything turned into technology, and everything was connected in the world. I don't know how to explain it any better than that. I just know when I came out of that, I had more empathy for everyone, especially my wife. We're still together now, and I imagine we'll be together until one of us passes. So I'm not telling you to take mushrooms. I'm only trying to share my story and share my journey with you. So I hope it helps.